presentation in public and is not to be considered a public meeting. Can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson,
Present.
Ms. Bryant, Mr. Carter,
Present.
Mr. Kilgore,
Here.
Dr. Turner.
I'm here.
All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, you have the agenda. Can we have a movement to accept the agenda for December 11th?
So move. Second.
Any discussion? All right, can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
All right, can we do a motion to accept the minutes for the meeting held on November 20th?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
All right, do we have any input from the Mountain Healthy Teachers Association?
Yeah, good evening. Last week I went to a president's meeting and it was discussing the. Vacant. I'll give you mine. I went to a president's meeting last week and they were discussing getting more OEA members knowledgeable and involved in political processes that would help, that are for legislators that are pro-education. And we talked about the Ohio Fund, which is OEA's political funding, and the fact that it is nonpartisan and we support candidates that are coming from all parties. So that's one thing that I'm really working to learn more about and, you know, at least get our members more knowledgeable about so that we can have more pro-public education people making the laws for us.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, do we have any public input? And it looks like there are a couple presentations.
So we would like to do some presentations for some of our Mount Healthy family members that are retiring. Dr. Ogden is going to start with our first recognition. Some people retire in May, but these two people have chosen to go out at the end of the year. So we wanted to recognize them tonight. And Dr. Ogden, I'll let you start.
So I'm going to ask Tim Monroe to stand up. And I'll have you know, Timmy doesn't like this. So we call Mr. Monroe Timmy. And Timmy, we worked together at Princeton for a little bit and then here at Mount Healthy. And I will tell you, not only is he a great person, but he is a phenomenal worker. He's a worker you have to say, Timmy, go home. All right? And if you're walking in a building, it's nothing to see him pop out of a closet because he's fixing it. He'll be covered in ash when he comes out of a boiler room. He'll come over and say, look at this, look at this. This was made in 1954. They don't make them like this anymore, Chuck. They just don't make them like this anymore. And when we're pulling a boiler apart, he's in there, he's dissecting. He's like, I got this manual. And he will go through everything. He has not only been amazing for our team here at Mount Healthy, personally, I will tell you, when I'm at home, Timmy, how many times have I called you on the weekend? I'm like, Timmy, my lawnmower's turning over. I can't get what's going on. He'll be like, well, did you do this? Did you do this? Or my furnace, or just something that I think I'm handy. And then I go over and talk to Tim, and I'm like, I don't know anything about the technical side of some of this stuff. So not only is he a valued employee that we will miss, he is a friend. I'm glad we've been able to cross paths, and I know I speak for the maintenance department and, you know, all of the employees in the buildings. It's going to be a huge loss. You can't replace a Tim Monroe. So thank you. Appreciate you. And congratulations.
You're welcome. Oh, we're all going to get in this picture? There is one thing I'll share about Tim. You know, we have the new fiber arts program. Well, it's not new anymore, several years. And we use that to do things in the school, but also to help with our employees. So
I was here about a week. And Maud, we will call her. Her real name is Catherine. But Maud called me up and asked me if I knew anything about a sewing machine, or she called it a, what is that thing? It's a quilting machine, that's what it is. And I said, I don't know. And so I go up to her classroom and I look at this piece of equipment and I said, Maud, do you have a book? And she says, yes, I do. And I said, I can fix it. So that's the only story. I go up and see Maud every now and then, and oh my gosh. I was up there about a week ago and there was a quilt out. It was beautiful. The kids did it. And the stitching on it was a funny stitch. Nothing, no pattern at all. It was just stitches everywhere. And I said, Mom, this thing looks cool. And she goes, really? I thought it was a mess. I've had fun in the district. I was with Princeton for 18 years, 19 years. And when, this is gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
So we have owls stitched on it, so you can remember us for the owls, and also the years that he spent with us. So
Scott, my boss, happened to ask for a position over here, and Scott hadn't it out with it. And I told Scott, I said, he asked me to come over, and I said, Scott, I'm going to retire next year. And he says, Tim, give me 2. And I said, okay, Scott, it's going to cost you. And it did cost me, yes. But I came over to the district, and I'm glad I did. I met a lot of different types of people, and being at Princeton, it was, you know, for that many years, you kind of get in a rut and do the same thing. When I came here, it kind of enlightened me to branch off to different things, such as a quilling machine. But I've had fun, and I hope that I can come back. I've been talking with Mr. Ogden, Dr. Ogden, about coming back, and I may come back for maybe a couple days a week, no more. But we'll see. It's been real.
well, thank you. You're welcome. We appreciate Tim, and we appreciate just his willingness to help. What Dr. Ogden said is so true. No matter what you ask him to do, he comes in and does it with a smile. And I think that is what really defines the people that work at Mount Healthy, that he could have easily said, this isn't my job, it's not part of my job description, but instead he's like, you need this clamp tightened? I'm going to tighten it for you. And so we appreciate that, and we'll be very happy to see you if you come in a few days. Thank you. So I have the honor, June, you want to come up here with me to talk about this lady, June Herlanger. June was one of the very first people I met in the building at Mount Healthy. I don't know if you remember that, but LaVonda decided to take me on a tour, and we started in the building, and I don't even think I got through the second set of doors, and June was there. And she's like, hi, I'm June. I've been here, Mount Healthy. Whatever you need, I can help you. So I appreciated that spirit right away, But what I came to learn is that she was just a wealth of knowledge. She knew everything about Mount Healthy. I found out that she had done a lot of cheer stuff with LaVonda, and I got to hear all of those stories. I found out that she was a graduate of Mount Healthy.
No,
Oh,
my
you weren't?
kids
Your kids graduated. I thought you did.
No,
Sorry.
Northwest, sorry.
Well, we won't hold that against you. So, but dedicated her life to many, many years at Mount Healthy. Started as a cheer coach, and then when people saw her, they were like, hey, we need you in here every day working with our students. What I would observe every time I would go in, there were kids who stayed in the office just because they wanted to talk to June. And sometimes I think they got sent to the office because they wanted to talk to June. And she would kind of act like she was pushing them a little bit, but they knew that she cared about them and she loved them. And again, that love of Mount Healthy, the love of our students, the love of our staff is what really sets June apart. And I will miss her so much. And then I'm just going to share this. This just shows what June is like. We're honoring her tonight, and she brought me a gift. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I thought you would like this. And I will treasure it. But we want to give you something. And yours is a little bit different since you've worked with us a little bit longer. And just to, it's not much, it's just a token, but we want to give you something that we hope that you will look at and remember us fondly. And we have her years on here. And let's see, where's the years? Over in the corner. So we have her years on here, and it has the old emblem, the old logo that is no longer on our buildings, but June was here when the old owl was flying. So, we hope that when you look at that, you will remember how much we love you and appreciate all of your years of service to Mount Healthy.
Okay. I'll probably start crying. So, I've been here a long, long time. Like I said, my kids went here. I was PTA president. I was the vice president of the boosters. I actually signed the document for the loan for the stadium, which my husband had a heart attack about. But me and Joel were the ones that signed. Been involved in a lot of things here. My youngest daughter was the last Miss Mount Healthy before they quit that.
You also were Miss Mount Healthy.
I was a Miss Teen Cincinnati, went for Miss Teen Ohio. But I have felt like this is my family, and it's really hard to leave your family. My husband laughs at me, but it's really hard when you've been here this long, and there's so many people here. So I know I won't be gone. I know I'll be back. I already said I would come back and help and sub, and I don't want to go anywhere else, though. I don't want to be any other school's person, but I do want to be your person. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for just being my family.
Thank you both again. I really do feel that just what we talked about tonight, that's what sets Mount Healthy apart, is the dedication of the people that work with our students every day. So thank you, June. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate your years of service. Thanks. Now I'm going to turn it over to Connie Solano. We have some teachers that we would love to recognize. Do you want my mic or there's one? Okay. Just have to turn.
Year, the state provides value-added reports for teachers in tested grades from grades 4 on up, and teachers who teach courses where kids take the end of course exam in the spring. And so this year, we started doing this last year, and we feel like it's very important to recognize our teachers who are showing that they can grow our children, not only grow them, but that there's significant evidence that they have grown them beyond what the state expected. So that's what this is. These are teachers who have grown our students at a statistically significant level. And so,
And Connie, the state expects 1 year of growth.
right,
So this means that they have grown them more than a year in just the short time that they've had them.
so, and it's independent of where the kid started, so like if a child starts at a low achievement level, the state expects them to at least make a year's worth of growth. They don't expect them to be at a high achieving level at the end of the year, but they expect them to get a year's worth of growth. And basically be able to stay on par, not lose any ground with the rest of the kids in their same grade level in the state. So the first person I wanted to present this award to is Ms. Constance Conrad. And Ms. Conrad is at North, and she teaches 6th grade English language arts. This is she's actually had 2 years of it's called the light blue. It's the highest level of value added you can get, but she's had one that for last year as well. And so what I want to share is how significant this is. Only 11% of the 6th grade ELA teachers in the state have received this level of achievement.
Connie, did you want to say anything?
All right. Okay. Our next wonderful teacher is Miss Jennifer Mutters. Ms. Mutters is also at North, teaches 6th grade mathematics. This is, she's had 1 year of value-added growth for 22-23. And just to let you know, only 19% of the teachers in her subject area, 19% in the state, were able to get to that level with their kids. So thank you.
Do you want to say?
Do you want to say anything? Our next teacher is also from North, is Michelle Southerington. Hello, Michelle. Michelle is a 4th grade math teacher. Her first year, right? Or at least one out of, you probably had 2, but not consecutive, right? So out of 3, I should have done it that way. I should have said out of the last 3 years, you've had 2 where you were showing light blue and value added. 23% of the teachers for your grade level, they're all under 25%. That's like incredible. That's amazing. So, congratulations.
Did you want to say anything?
Our next fabulous teacher is Karen Black. Hello, Karen. Karen teaches 5th grade math, and amongst the 5th grade math teachers, only 21% receive the recognition that she's receiving. Would you like to say something?
Ms. Karen, what building are you in?
South. Okay. Our next teacher is Heather Butts. Hello. And Ms. Heather Butts is also at South, a 6th grade math teacher. And again, with the other 6th grade math, only 19% have received this level. Juanica Lampley. And Ms. Lampley is getting this for 5th grade math and 5th grade science. I think I've already mentioned for math, but for science, in the top 25%. Would you like to say something? So last but not least, our friend Joel Bartlett is not here with us today. However, he's in 8th grade science, his 2nd award. He had one last year too. And he's ranked in the top 22%.
Thank you, Connie. I mean, we have some amazing teachers at Mount Healthy. Let's give them another round of applause. We are so proud of you and the work that you do every day, and it's making such a difference in the lives of our students. Next, we have a presentation from our own Frederica Richardson, and she's going to give us a food service update. Here, just this one's good.
Very short. Every year, the state of Ohio requires that school districts report to the board how they're handling the food service program, whether or not we are meeting all the requirements of the state for our federal program, National School Lunch, as well as our non-program foods. And all I am here to say is that, yes, we are meeting everything. And for last school year, because it should have been done this summer, but unfortunately I wasn't around. So I just want to let everyone know that we're still on track and still doing well. Thanks.
Thank you, Frederica. Frederica and her team really work hard to make sure that our students have what they need. And I just want to note, while we're talking about this, I can't count the times when I've reached out to Frederica and said, hey, we're doing this after school. Is there any way you can provide food? And every single time she says yes. And that makes a difference. It makes a difference for our students to know that they're going to get something to eat after school before that activity, and encourages students to stay for those activities. So I do really appreciate Frederica and her team. Hey.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all. For those members of the audience who do not wish to stay for the business portion of this meeting, now would be the appropriate time for you to exit if you'd like.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see your face again soon.
All those nerd.
All right. We do not have a Great Oaks board report this month. I do plan to go in January, but it will be after our January meeting, so we may not have one till February. The legislative updates, excuse me. We did have quite a few bills passed this month. The House Bill 214, sponsored by Rep. Adam Holmes. It would require each public school to adopt a policy regarding certain expectations related to the performance of staff members' professional duties. The amendment clarifies that schools cannot require employees, job applicants, or students to offer an opinion about specific beliefs, affiliations, ideals, or principles. I did read up on this a little bit. It was kind of convoluted. It said that it would not prevent schools from complying with anti-discrimination rules or prohibit teachers from teaching about politics, religion, or ideologies generally. But critics did say that this particular bill seems redundant and confusing, which I also thought, and that it will add more stress to teachers trying to navigate new policies. Also passed was Senate Bill 29. It would enact laws pertaining to technology providers for education records and data. The bill would require school districts to make public certain information regarding the technology providers they use. Also, Senate Bill 17 it passed, it would require the state board to update the standards and model curriculum for financial literacy and entrepreneurship in grades 9 through 12 to include free market capitalism content. Committee also passed House Bill 70, which would require schools to adopt a policy regarding the administration of over-the-counter drugs. The committee amended and passed House Bill 206, which would permit a school district to establish a policy that authorizes a superintendent to expel a student from a public school for actions that endanger the health and safety of other students or school employees. The amendment reiterates that charter schools must comply with this bill's requirements. It makes the superintendent, not the school board, responsible for selecting a psychiatrist or psychologist and developing a list of alternative educational options. It clarifies that a plan for continued education of an expelled student must be created within 15 school days for a student who does not have an individualized education program, and requires plans for continued education of expelled students with IEPs to be developed within 10 school days of the start of an expulsion period. And then finally, the Senate confirmed Steve Dakin as the inaugural director of the Department of Education and Workforce. All right, the report of the treasurer.
Thank you. Under letter A, I am sharing the treasurer updates and basically discussing the performance evaluation. We are all scheduled to meet here on the 14th with the state. I believe you all should have received an email from the state, and I will follow up in case you have not. And I believe you all did, because I was copied on it as well. But we will be here on Thursday to begin the performance evaluation for the district. Also, the tax budget, I will be submitting that in January of next year, but tonight I will be presenting the resolution for the modified tax budget that has to precede the tax budget. So those are the two items on the treasurer's updates that I'm going to share at this time. Under letter B, I'm recommending the board to accept the financial statement for November 2023.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Under letter C, I am recommending the board to authorize the treasurer to request the county auditor to make advance payment of taxes for the 2024 calendar year. This will allow the school district to, rather than receive a lump sum of our tax settlements, that we would receive them in advance of the tax settlement.
Can we get a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, so last month we had the 5-year forecast. Is this going to change any of that outlook, getting the funds a little sooner?
No, because that's the amount of the revenues are what's accounted for in the 5-year forecast.
Okay. All right.
All right, any other discussion? All right, can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
And then letter D is recommendation to authorize the treasurer to request authority from Hamilton County Budget Commission to file a modified tax budget for the 2024-25 fiscal year.
Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Was that Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Any discussion? Can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Dr. Hawkins?
Thank you. So I wanted to give just a quick update about our giving tree. So this is the time of year where our staff, they are so generous. I'm amazed continually at their generosity. We served 110 families this year, providing gifts that they will be able to pass out to their children over the Christmas season. The distribution is actually Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I just want to say thank you to LaVonda right now for all of her work. It's a team. I know it's not on my paper, but LaVonda, she coordinates all of this and works with others as well to really meet the needs of these families. So if you happen to be over around the Parks building and you see people just coming out of that building carrying bags and bags of presents, that represents the families that we've helped. So we have served this year 110 families, over 400 students, which is amazing. That's more than 10% of our population that our staff has given just generously. We have actually raised, they had $15,000 donated to help buy the gifts. And, well, I take that back, I messed that up. The people bought the gifts, they had $15,000 in gift cards to give on top of the gifts, right? For each family received gift cards so that they can buy, like at Kroger and different places. So on top of all of those gifts, another $15,000. And LaVonda, you know, with the gift cards, making sure that the family has what they need to have an amazing holiday. We were able to help out. There were 6 families that were not adopted, but they did get gift cards so that the family can go and try to make a difference. So, you know, this is just I don't think people can really understand just the effort that goes in. You know, I've been in different districts, and I would say every year families are helped. But I've never been somewhere where 110 families were helped with a district this size. So we do appreciate the Giving Tree. We appreciate all of our staff that adopts the families. And for me, we get a lot of emails. But this is one email that I like seeing because it's a spreadsheet and it's sent out and it says, here are the families. And it just means a lot to me to see over and over, you know, the counseling department will take this family. The administrators will take this family. These teachers will take this family. And just the receptiveness is amazing. And so we are very appreciative of the work that goes into the Giving Tree, and our community, I feel, is appreciative of the generosity. And the counselors also, I mean, there's a team. Counselors, even former superintendents, Lori Handler is very involved in the process and handing out the gifts. So it really is just a combined effort to meet the needs of these families. So I just wanted to highlight that tonight, and that distribution will be taking place on Wednesday. We do have a few change orders for the Culinary Arts Edition. It is coming to a close. We're excited about that. Change order 7, $1,435.48 for the pass-through window trim. Change order 44, $1,179.99 for the dishwasher fan circuit. Change order 52, $534.15 dehumidifier voltage issue. $1,047.66 power supply. And change order 58, $970.06 for syncing the fire alarm between the old and the new building. So I was in the culinary area Friday. Chef Potter gave me an in-depth tour. They were in there cleaning, and it is beautiful. You know, soon we'll all go over and look at that area. It's exciting. It's going to be a great asset to our district as well as our students to have that pathway for graduation, as well as just for students who want to learn how to cook. You know, we have heard from our students that they want practical application classes. And that's one of them, the cooking, as well as we mentioned last month, I believe, the Adulting 101 class that we're starting, as well as some other things. I do want to personally thank Dr. Ogden tonight for his oversight on the culinary project. He works with our contractors. He speaks their language. They are working very hard with Chuck. And we've mentioned before, we have some Mount Healthy grads that did the masonry. We have a lot of people who, when you talk to them, the feeling is just community. And when I walk through that area, they say to me, we wanted to be on this project because we wanted to say I gave back to my school. And I want to be able to show my children that I did this for my school. So we're excited about the potential that our students will have through degrees and other opportunities with the culinary arts program. And we'll be having a grand opening soon, so that information will be coming soon. We did receive a grant from the Ohio Department of Education for Each Child Reads for $34,615. Item B is the recommendation to approve the purchase and installation of security cameras for the junior-senior high building, and this is being paid for with grant funds. We received safety grants previously. The cost is $43,092.
You get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Can we do a roll call, please?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
Thank you. Item C is the recommendation to approve the purchase and installation of security cameras for North Elementary. And the total cost is $48,396. This also is being paid for with grant funds.
All right, can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I do have one question. There was an issue last month about grants being sent out to different places. The money now is marked for the grants. Will that be going directly to the grants? Not into a little kitty that we could take away from?
That's processed through the treasurer's office. Do you want to speak to that, Kimberly?
So when we receive grants, we do have accounts that are set up per the grant. So if it's an ESSER grant, we do have accounts that are set up. So as the money comes in, we receive those funds into those particular accounts.
For that item?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion?
Okay, I see we have the high school getting, and the junior high getting cameras, and North, we don't need them for South?
We have cameras in all of our buildings, but they went through and they did an evaluation of cameras that need to be replaced. We're not finished with the evaluation yet at South, and the ELC shouldn't need. Yeah, Dr. Ogden.
I talked with Ms. Yancey this afternoon, and we actually found out we had a good bit of more money that we need to go to. It was assessed on the quality of what the product was. She met with a director, or supervisor of safety and security, Mr. Herb Dorsey. So actually, we're looking at a couple other things, but it's like the cameras at North Elementary, for example, they were just not functional. And so that's why a lot of North allocation went to just cameras. There wasn't a need to, for example, to completely revamp South's cameras or the junior and senior high. What we're looking at doing is able to add some cameras to the junior and senior high right now and look to basically allocate those funds that they have for safety and security. Basically a needs assessment is what it was.
Thank you, Dr. Ogden.
Thank you. Were there any other questions? All right, can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
Thank you. Item D, I recommend to accept the following donations. $50 was donated by the High Steppers Drill Team for the Mount Healthy Food Pantry. $1,000 was donated by the Silver Family Foundation for Mount Healthy North Elementary.
We have a motion?
Second.
Any Any discussion? Can we do a roll call, please?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter? Yes. Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. Item E is the consent agenda. You can glance through there.
All right, can we do a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Anyone second?
Oh, Kim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Can we do a roll call, please?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. That's the end of my report.
All right, I don't think we had any special orders. Any open discussion?
Yeah, actually, I have three things. I made little notes out here. First, Ms. Anderson has been the legislative liaison this past year, but she's going to be taking on being the Oaks liaison next year. Do you want to do both of those, or would you like to ditch legislative liaison?
I would love to have someone take over the legislative liaison. Free up a little, I mean, it's not the most time consuming, but it would be one less thing on my plate, so if there's anyone.
I'll be willing to take it on.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you so much.
Were we going to vote on the meeting calendar?
That is in January.
Oh, that's January.
We-
Okay, okay.
There is a
Yeah,
list
I
of
got that. That's why I
potential,
thought
so
we were voting tonight. Okay. And just a thought.
There is one change that came up. We had originally thought about February the 12th, and Mr. Kilgore is going to be out of town. And so our meeting is early in January, so if you're open to that, we would like to suggest it moving to February 5th. So
Okay.
that's the only difference that has come
Okay.
up.
Yeah, sorry, I thought we were voting on that tonight. But LaVonda wouldn't leave anything off the agenda if we were supposed to be voting on it. Just a thought, a question. Would we want to maybe have a board meeting at the Culinary Center? So
Yes.
people could come and see it?
That's
and-
a great idea. We can definitely have that in the banquet center. That would be fantastic. And then we also will be meeting there in May at the auditorium, but we could have it in the banquet area as well if we wanted to. Great idea. I don't know about February. The furniture is still.
Spring might
as
be
soon as
better,
the
yeah.
As soon as yeah, because then we can use the outside covered area. So we will get that on the calendar. Dr. Ogden.
That was all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question about
Is everybody okay with the 5th? Was there
I
any?
think Kim had a question.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Roy.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying about the fifth?
Was everybody okay with that? Because LaVonda will put through that for a vote next time unless someone, is that okay?
I think so.
I think that's fine.
Okay, great.
Now, I know that the calendars have not been made out
Mhm.
for, our next school year.
Mm-hmm.
But, if there was any way possible that we do not have a meeting if school is really out.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we did for Thanksgiving.
Right.
You know, school was
Mhm.
out. If we can either bump it to the following week
Mhm.
or move it up.
Okay,
Because I don't feel like to ask people to come when the school is closed.
okay.
It's something that,
Thanksgiving is late this year, so the 18th, we are in school. That's the week before Thanksgiving. But October 21st, that is over fall break, the proposed fall break, potentially. I'm glad you mentioned the calendar, and Julie might be able to speak a little bit more on that. The union sent out a survey about what did you think about our calendar. Remember, we added 30 minutes to the school day last year, and that gave us the opportunity to have some targeted breaks so that students, we have a lot of students who go on vacations, trying to say, here are the opportunities for you to do that, so they're not missing instruction, as well as giving our teachers some restorative time. And Julie, I heard that it was very positive. And coming back, I mean, in the 90s for every question, you know, that they liked it. And so we had a calendar meeting last week. They're going to vote on it in early January this week. So soon it will be to the board for a vote. But Julie, what have you heard about calendar or any?
I've heard that people really like it, especially having that full week at Thanksgiving, you know, and just not feeling so rushed. Yeah, everybody seems to enjoy it.
Great. So we're excited about that, and you know, we're hoping that gives our teachers time as well as our students to have time with their families, but also just that restorative time so that they can come back and work hard with our students as they do every single day. Okay, we can definitely, we'll know more, but we can definitely adjust that. I think that was the only one that fell maybe the 16th of December. I don't know, we'll look. I'm not, but that's a great suggestion. Thank you, Ms. Bryant.
I had a question regarding the giving. When giving is being done, is that being done as a 501c3? So that
It is. The Giving Tree, they have, it's a donation to the school, and so they send letters out, and it's out through 501. C.
Through Coordinating Council in the City of Mount Healthy Sharing Tree, so we run the money through their, through the City of Mount Healthy.
Not our 501(c).
Right, and the Coordinating Council, which is / Sharing Tree, they'll send letters to everyone who's donating.
Okay, cool.
We just recently had our foundation approved in August.
Okay.
So that's new for Mount Healthy. So we have,
Yeah, what funds come through Mount Healthy is just like a flow through, like a rotary type account where it just, we're holding the money and then the treasurer's office
Disperses it.
money to that.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Is there anything else? Any other questions? Okay. All right, Board of Education report. Motion to adopt a resolution of appointment for myself, Stephanie Anderson, to the Great Oaks Career Campuses Governing Board for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2024 and ending December 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
You guys are too quick with that. Any discussion?
I just want to say thank you for taking that on. Carol did that for, I don't even know how long. That was a big hole to fill there, and there was a good deal of discussion about, was I going to do it, or was Ms. Anderson going to do it? And thank you for agreeing to do it.
You're welcome. I do love the vocational school, so it's something I'm willing to try to work in, so. Any other discussion on it? Can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Yes. Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
All right, motion to select a date and time for the public hearing on the budget.
Oh, so moved.
Second.
All right,
normally we have it right before the January board meeting. It has to be before the 15th. So our meeting is proposed to be on January the 8th. Normally it's right before our meeting, I think normally about 30 minutes.
It's about 30 minutes.
5:30, let me just scratch it. All right, so you said January 8th at 5:30? All right, any discussion about that? Can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Yes. Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Motion to select a date and time for the organizational meeting and the regular meeting for the month of January.
So moved.
All right, and that would just be January 8th at 5, or at 6 p.m. Any discussion? we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
Okay, motion to select the following person to act as a temporary chairperson at the organizational meeting in January. Would that just be me?
It
To act
could
as
be you.
temporary?
It can be any of us.
Okay.
So
What's
I
the role description of
nominate,
chairperson?
I nominate Stephanie Anderson to be the temporary
Temporary, okay.
chairperson.
All right, anyone second that?
I second.
All right. Can we do a roll call?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we're going to go into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official. It is now 6:51. We do a motion to enter executive.
So moved.
Second.
Who was that? Emmett? All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes, and we won't be taking any kind of votes or any action on anything after we come back. So if anyone doesn't want to wait just to see us adjourn at the end, you don't have to.
All right.
I have-
Thank you all.
I have the conference room, my conference room set up. Did you want to start with me or Kimberly or?